got it. Looks like someone recently had a key appraised.
Over here, Miss Drew. Find the toy mouse and give it to Yuri, would you please? Otherwise, he'll just keep meowing. He hates strangers. How nice of you to drop by, and thank you for walking instead of parking in the driveway. I'm expecting a pupil. I'd hate for her to have to park on the road.
How did you know who I was?
If one is to teach others how to develop and use their paranormal gifts, it's only logical that one must possess such gifts oneself.
Does that mean you can read minds or tell the future, or what exactly?
The paranormal includes telepathy, or communicating by sending and receiving thoughts, extrasensory perception, or perceiving that which cannot physically be seen or heard, and psychokinesis, using one's psychic energy to reshape or move objects.
When I walked in just now, it looked like you were in a trance or something.
I was in the process of trying to make these spoons move by using nothing but my own psychic energy. Have you ever focused sunlight through a magnifying glass until it was a minute yet searing point of light, Miss Drew?
Yeah, I guess.
You see, that's what I do with my cerebral emanations, my thoughts. I focus them until they're a beam of pure energy which ultimately disrupts and transforms the molecular force field surrounding the target object.
Is that what you teach people in your school? How to beam their thoughts?
I take them through exercises designed to help them increase their output of phantasmic energy. If you want to sign up for an introductory session, I believe I have an opening today.
What I'd really like to do is talk about Josiah Crowley.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm busy, young lady, far too busy to engage in idle conversation.
You're not trying to hide something, are you, Mr. Topham?
I'll be blunt, Miss Drew. I've discovered that the more time I spend with the, shall we say, intellectually unendowed, the more my cerebral pulsations seem to diminish. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you further unless and until you prove that you are worthy. That is, that your brainwaves are not unacceptably inferior and thus deleterious to mine.
My brainwaves are just fine, Mr. Topham.
What I have here is an exercise in logic. If you can discern the correct solution, then I'll know that conversing with you will do me no psychic harm. You may take it with you. Good luck and good day.
That looks right. Am I smart or what? I'm getting there. That looks right. Am I smart or what?
Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem?
Right here.
Let's have a look. Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Well, since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about?
When and how did you meet Josiah Crowley?
Last summer, while on my way to the university for a conference, I stopped for a bite at the Lilac Inn. Since it was crowded and I was in a hurry, I agreed to share a table with an elderly gentleman who, like me, was by himself. As soon as I told Mr. Crowley who I was and what I did, well, He insisted that I give him a training session that very afternoon, and was so thrilled with his progress that he demanded I stay and teach him everything I knew.
So it was his idea that you set up your school in his house?
Oh, I know rumor has it that I somehow tricked him into it, that I insinuated my way into his home, but I assure you that was not the case.
Were you surprised when you found out that Josiah had left you everything?
Delighted? Yes. Surprised? Not really. Josiah was all alone, you see, surrounded by people like the Crandalls and that banker, Jim Archer, people who were nice to him only because they knew he had money.
What do you think happened to the key to Josiah's safe deposit box?
Josiah no doubt lost it. He had a terrible memory, poor fellow.
What do you think is in the safe deposit box?
No doubt it's filled with the same thing as this house. Junk. But if it's junk, why haven't I gotten rid of it, you may well ask. Well, I know it's silly to hang on to Josiah's things, but he was a wonderful man, you see, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of them. Too sentimental for my own good, I guess.
Did you hear about the explosion and fire at the Lilac Inn this morning?
I heard the explosion and fire. Ruined my 9 o'clock session.
So you were with a customer when it happened?
Pupil. I was with a pupil. I run a school, not a vegetable stand, and yes, I was. Until I dismissed her 20 minutes early. All the ruckus made concentration impossible.
How well do you get along with Emily and her guardian, Jane?
Very well, as far as I'm concerned. But as far as they're concerned, well, the fact that Josiah left everything to me made some people around here, including Emily and now this Jane Willoughby, very bitter. It hurts me, of course, but it's human nature, I suppose.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house. Josiah was a man of many, many interests. I'll be right here if you have any questions.
Was this Josiah's clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's. Stay out of there, please. As you'll soon realize, Josiah's mental faculties were starting to go, I'm afraid. He tended to ramble. Very little of what he wrote in there makes sense.
What are you when you win barred bounce? What poet is the cat's meow? What will Para, my miniature golf course, get you? What's Gloria's middle name? Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right. Bottom's Q is in note to Gloria. It looks like Josiah lent a trivet to someone, but I can't make out to whom. The man on stage in this picture, is that Josiah?
Yes, that's from a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream that he directed and starred in. It closed after 2 nights, but he didn't care. He loved that play.
What do you do with these?
I put them on the windshields of cars parked in the area. Great advertising.
Ever put them on cars at the Lilac Inn?
All the time. I've gotten quite a few pupils that way. I'm afraid that fire today was as unfortunate for me as it was for Miss Crandall.
Oh, a miniature golf course! Swell! Interesting. I hit it too hard. Hooray!